Voice is jacked today, so I'm not going to be no singing. I'm going to try not to cough, but you know. We're going to let it play a little bit, but you know how it goes. Yeah. Anyways, welcome back to Riffin with Griffin. Sickin' with Griffin. Yeah, man. Woo! It's been quite a week for me. Been sick as a dog. But I get you caught up, tell you what's going on. Probably have a short episode today, but I missed last week, but it is what it is. I'll tell you everything that's going on. But as you know, make sure you sub. So you know when I'm going live, when I'm putting up videos. Twitch, which I'm always doing. I'm always twitching. I love playing COD. I'm just a COD beast. I'm the COD father, so come check me out there. And Patreon. Stay with me, Patreon people. Thank you for your support. It really helps. I really appreciate it. Even when I don't put stuff up for a few weeks, you're still there with me, and I appreciate you. So thank you. My Patreonies. I have not seen Sinners yet, guys, but I am going to watch it. But I'll tell you everything that's going on. So, last week, I had to go out of town, and I was gone all week. You know, like I couldn't even do Golden Hour, you know? But I was actually, I did do Golden Hour, but I was with Matt Rife again, and, you know, it's like Matt's schedule's crazy. So, we were in New Hampshire. We were in Saratoga. Then I went out to his place out in, he lives in Rhode Island. Beautiful place he has. Oh, my God. Like, I've known him for so long, and, like, when he was nothing, just poor kid from Ohio, and now to see, like, he's got this beautiful place and this beautiful girlfriend, and, you know, I couldn't be happier for him. You know what I'm saying? You know? It's just, I don't know. I love the kid. But, going on the road with him is really fun. You know, it's just like, he broke the record at this stadium. They were so excited to have him in New Hampshire. It's some hockey stadium, but he, like, broke the record. The attendance record. But all the shows are fun. But I got sick. I was sick as a dog. Even when I got there, I've been struggling for a week. So the other day, it got to the point where I had to cancel some shows this past weekend. I couldn't even do comedy because it was like I was on stage and I was like, oh, this is not going to go well. So then, like, the next day I just canceled, and then it kept happening. And then what I did was I got, when you have insurance now, there's like all these virtual doctors. Like, you don't actually have to go to the doctor's office. If you think about it, what a waste of time the doctor's office sometimes is. You go, you sign up, you're waiting for the doctor, the nurse, and then the doctor comes in, blah 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 blah, prescribes something, and you're done. So so I went online on my insurance app, and then I was like, oh yeah, see a virtual doctor, urgent care. Guy comes on the screen, and then I'm telling him all my symptoms. We're talking about it. He prescribes me some stuff. Instantly, I start feeling better the next day. But I'm still recovering from it. Like, my issue is I got this post-nasal drip, which causes me to cough, and then it just went into my chest. So I have this inhaler, and it's like, ugh. But it's like, this. I feel better than I've felt in a long time. It's like, it's crazy. I have not seen Sinners yet, but I will. You guys don't know because I'll say in the title, Sinners Review. So, I was with Matt on the weekend, and then I came home for one night, spent some time with the family, and then I got back on a plane and went to Atlanta to film Celebrity Family Feud with Matt. Man, I'm going to tell you all about it in a little bit, but I hope it's not a viral moment, but I totally lost it for our team. I made a stupid answer. I panicked. I'm just going to tell you right now, I didn't hear exactly what Steve Harvey said, and then I crashed the button, And then I said the wrong answer. And as soon as I said it, I knew it was the wrong answer. It's crazy. Somebody said telemedicine will dominate soon. I mean, it should. You know what I mean? Unless, excuse me, what should really happen is if you need x-rays and blood tests, you go do that. You get the results. Then you telemedicine. Then the person's talking to you like, all right, yeah, this is what's going on. You talk about your symptoms. You know what I mean? There might even be some at-home stuff where you like, it's like one of those things you could take your temperature and it goes on the computer right away. All that kind of stuff. God damn it, I'm so sorry. So anyways, all right, what's going on? You know what? I haven't done comments in a while. Let me see if I got some comments that we want to talk about. Let's see. He goes, since Santino has a golf podcast, can these three make a new weekly podcast? Guys, it's not going to happen. Bobby, Steve, and I are never going to do a full-on podcast. I'll just have to, wait until they can come do mine occasionally. But, I love the support for that. You guys are always very much like, it's always fun doing that with them, okay? Let's see what we got here. People love commenting on that. What else we got here? Somebody said, for Sharp, it moves forward by rejecting that offer because they believe a jury can find him guilty and may have to pay a larger sum if he loses. They're talking about the Shannon Sharp situation. I don't think that's Shannon Sharp. Like, you haven't heard much about the Shannon Sharp situation anymore because, I don't know how you could go forward with a trial with recordings and stuff that were obtained illegally. So I don't know what the grounds for the case is really going to be. You know what I mean? So I don't know. And, and he's going on business as usual. Let's see if there's anything. Shannon Sharp update. Let's see. Shannon Sharp update. I don't know. Okay, he goes. Shannon Sharp okay, here's something. Let's see what this is. Okay. Shannon Sharp makes a career decision after being accused of rape and sexual assault. I don't know what this is. After being named in a $50 million sexual assault announcement, he will not be hitting the road this summer. Sharp, 56, and his podcast co-host were scheduled to begin their 8-city nightcap. Okay, so I guess, the court of public opinion is affecting him, but I don't know if he's going to have to pay anything or go to it. So it doesn't seem like there's anything. It's just a lot of public opinion stuff. You know what I mean? And the longer it goes before he actually gets to trial, kind of like in the Diddy trial, who knows what is really going to happen. But so far, there doesn't seem to be nothing going on. So who knows? We'll see. You know what I mean? If he's guilty, we'll see what happens, okay? Somebody said, Eric, you always got on the dopest shirts. You got to stand up and show them off at the beginning of each episode. I don't know if the guy's being funny or if he really means that. Who knows? Let's see. Racketeering, aka RICO laws, were developed to prosecute the mob and mafia. Yeah, I get that. I'm gonna get to the Diddy trial, because I'm still talking about that because it's crazy. I don't know if you guys have been following, but it's actually bananas. Let's see. Excuse me. God damn it, guys. I'm so sorry. There's nothing much. Somebody said, Eric, much love, as always. I love the Thunderbolts because of its comedy blended with mental health awareness in a relatable way to the audience. And, oh, man, I wish there was one more season of I'm Dying Up Here. Me too, man. Thanks for that. Me too. All right, anyway, let's just get right into Family Feud, I guess, huh? I'm probably not even supposed to be talking about this yet, but it's who cares? I thought about it. I mean, it's not like I have a Rogan audience on my podcast. So this is just for my little audience, and we'll talk about it I'll let you know everything that happened on Family Feud. It was fun as hell, though. You know, it's one of these things where you never think you're going to be on Family Feud. I thought I had Kleenex here. What happened to my Kleenex? God damn it. I might have to get up. Anyways, you never, you know what I mean? You go, I'm not going to be on Family Feud. That's never going to happen. And then here you are. Make it on the Family Feud. Let's see. So this is the group that was on. Wait, let me, I'll show the picture. Let's see. Screen share. Ha! There's the guys. So these are like Matt's. The funny thing is, I don't think Family Feud realized how black Matt's family was going to be. But that's Jackson McQueen on the end, on the left. That's Jake from State Farm, Kevin Miles. Of course, Matt, that's me. And that's James. James is like the funniest dude, man. James is, oh my God, that dude is, he was so mad at me. He was so mad at me that I messed, because he was gonna be one of the, it was gonna be Matt and him, you know, at that like whatever that last round of Family Feud is, you know. And then this is a funny picture because this was like, so we had Matt's merch on, and the joke was, I was like, this is hard R. It's a hard R, you know. But we had a good time, man. Okay, so we get to Family Feud, right? And it was great. You know, we got our merch on. We get there, and we're comics. So we making noise. Everybody's having fun. Then the other team shows up. Let me tell you the other team. It's Little John, E40, Too Short, Little John's son, Little Shay or whatever his name is, and DJ something or other. I forgot the guy's name. That was their team. And they came in hot talking shit. It was crazy. Too Short and E40 were going in. So they talking to comics though. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So I go over to, they talking smack. So I go over to both of them and I go, dude, E40 Too Short. Man, if it was 1987, this would be dope. So then they immediately was like, oh, they got jokes. You know, it was so funny. I said to Too Short, I was like, yo, man. Hey, I walked up to him and said, yo, dude, they looking for a cassette player because they want to play one of your albums. So, he, you know, because he thought he was funny. But anyways, we're up there. So then, like, they do the intros, you know what I mean? They intro our team first. Team Rife. We come out, you know, then they introduce their thing. And then Steve Harvey comes out, right? He comes over to us first. And he's like, Matt Rife. And he's like, he says a little bit about Matt. And then he goes down the line for us. You know, and he's not really excited. You know what I'm saying? It was cool. But then he turns to the other team and he's like, oh, you know, he fucking shimmies over to E40 and everything. I'm like, okay, this guy they don't really want us to be here. So that was a fun intro. And then we play the game, you know, and we actually win the first. I don't even understand why we went to a playoff because we were winning. It actually didn't make any sense. I don't think they wanted us to win. I think they wanted the other team to win so Little John could be up there, right? So anyways, we okay, so then we had to go do a thing. So it went Matt, it was Matt, Kevin, James, me, Jackson. Okay, so I'm fourth. So then in the playoff, it's gonna be me buzzing, okay? So I answered one of the questions right. I got it right. It was some weird ass things, right? So then I go up. So now I'm like excited. You know, this is Family Feud. You got your hand behind your back and you're ready to buzz the thing. But Steve, this is the fourth show of the day, okay? The recording. Steve Harvey is actually not a young man anymore. So I could tell I couldn't, listen, I'm not making an excuse, but I couldn't hear him. I really couldn't understand the question he was asking. So I answered the wrong question. This was the question. Excuse me. So sorry for the audio listeners hearing me sick. All right, anyways. So the question was, name a city that's not in the South that is known for accent. I didn't hear that correctly. I buzzed the thing. I was going against Little John's son. I buzzed it real quick, and then I said, Atlanta. And then as soon as I said it, the question rolled around in my head. And then I was like, oh, no. Then I was like, oh, no. And then I said, Steve, I panicked. I look so dumb. It's gonna be one of those Family Feud viral moments. You know, one of those. It's gonna be part of a video compilation. Dumbest people on Family Feud. But you think I'm dumb? Wait till you see what E40 did in the. Poof. Little John goes up in the first thing. You know how the one guy comes out, he answers 5 questions. He answered all of them so great. They need 200 points. He had 170 points. That's how good he did in that first round. Then E40 comes out. All he needs is like 20-something points. I'm just going to tell you this. They didn't win. Crazy. But it was so fun. What a fantastic opportunity. I'll always remember it. You know, it's like, and maybe we'll go back again because they have families come back more than one time. So that was cool stuff. Cool stuff, man. All right, let's see. Let's get back to, let me put a stream marker there. So, man, I've been watching this Diddy. Not watching, but, well, first of all, there's a Hulu show and they're following the Diddy trial. So the thing is, there's no cameras in the courtroom, okay? There's no cameras in the courtroom. So they got the transcripts are public. So you can read the transcripts. So what this Hulu did was, they got the transcripts. They hired some reenactment actors, and they're like kind of doing the trial for you using the transcripts. It's terrible. But the people that they have kind of like talking about it, they're having interesting discussions about what's going on with the trial. Excuse me. So some wild shit's been happening, man. Here's the thing. I just saw A Few Good Men. I was on the plane and I wanted to watch that movie again. I love that movie. And something Tom Cruise said in it is so important. Like, you know, if you remember in A Few Good Men, these 2 soldiers are up for murder, you know. And, you know, so they asked, well, do you believe they're innocent? And Tom Cruise is like, he says, it doesn't matter what I believe. It only matters what I can prove. All right, so that's court. So the court of public opinion is completely different because this has been going on for months and months and months. So let's go back. Here's something that's very interesting about this whole thing. So you heard about the freak offs, okay? Because this is something that you know, was talked about. And it's talked about for months. And then all these people were coming out saying all this stuff about it. Turns out the freak offs were only Diddy, Cassie, Hooker, bodyguards around or whatever. That was it. So everybody that was talking about this stuff all this time, oh, there's tapes and oh, there's this. It was all bullshit. And all those idiots who were talking like, you know, I was at the parties, but I left before it got crazy. Either you think he is a criminal mastermind, therefore, this is what was happening. Let's say you think he's completely guilty, and and Cassie was a victim. A victim the whole time. This was going on for so long. The dude was smart. If he's a criminal mastermind, that's why he had this little white boy dude buying all the drugs and holding the guns and shit. He never had it himself. That's why he had Cassie. Cassie was the one setting up the freak offs, y'all. Like, she actually should be on trial too for the same stuff, but they gave her immunity so she could testify against him. That's something I found out about in the trial too. Let me say that again. Many times, she is the one that set up the freak offs. Therefore, she should be up for the same charges as him with the sex trafficking. She should be charged for sex trafficking herself, but they gave her immunity. Think about that. So he had her doing that. So why would this dude, who is this meticulous about this, have some party and then have illegal shit going on with people that he don't really know that have something to lose if this gets out. Like, you can't control that environment. So, like, all these people talking about it, because there's so many people that I've heard behind the scenes want to come out and be like, you know, I've been to many Diddy parties. None of that kind of stuff was going on. You know what I mean? They don't want to say that because it's like, it's better to be silent than to be a part of it. Okay, so now we in the case. Now, this is something that I find strange. I was thinking about this today. How can a hooker be a credible witness for either the defense or the prosecution? How? Because think about this. So at first I looked this up on AI. I asked the AI, I said, is prostitution a federal crime? And it's not. Federally, they don't prosecute for prostitution. They only prosecute when you're traveling for prostitution or setting it up across state lines, which is what he's being charged with, sex trafficking. So, and I don't know if you are a prostitute, if you are offering your services, I don't know why you're not being charged with sex trafficking too. But maybe, you know, they're giving the hookers immunity. I don't know. But here's what I'm trying to say. At the very least, all they've proven in this case so far is that he should be charged with domestic violence, which is not one of the charges, but they have proof of it. So they're trying to use that tape as proof that if he could do that, he could do anything. They released that tape to the public way before to bias the jury or anybody to be like, yo, this guy, look what this guy did, right? I used to wonder why Cassie wasn't going for justice, you know? I never liked that. But I realized she couldn't, right? But this is crazy too, we found out in the trial. So this tape comes out, okay, after 10 years, all right? And then they bring in the trial the security guard. And the security guard's like, you know, coming across like, you know, whatever, you know, it was a crazy scene. But then they say this, the guy says, we didn't watch the tape till they left. So to me, that's accessory after the fact. Because like, if you're now the security of this hotel and you finally watch this footage and you see this dude beating this chick down in the hallway and you don't call the police, that's why she got $10 million from the hotel. You understand? So she got her money for that. And I don't blame her. You know what I mean? It's like, okay. It's like this hotel did nothing to help her. I mean, the police should have been called right away. All right? And so now, then he got money, she got money from him. Hey, you beat me down. Give me my money. So she got $30 million from this. I actually have no problem with it now. After hearing all the facts of the case. Okay, so, what am I saying? All right. Getting back to these hookers, these escort guys. An escort couldn't possibly be a credible witness without incriminating themselves. So she's trying to say he coerced me into these freak-offs the whole time. I never really wanted to do it, or you know what I mean? And, that's what they're trying to portray him as, this like criminal master, that's with the racketeering and all that stuff. They have to prove that with this. The hooker comes in. See, the only hooker that would be a credible witness would be a gangster hooker who comes in and goes, yeah, Diddy's, I said, what up, Diddy? And then hey, Diddy, I don't think she really wants to do this. And he says, I don't care. Then the hooker goes, oh, if you don't care, I don't care. And then he just does it. That's the only credible witness. Because then it's like, that's a guy saying, I believe she didn't want to do this, but I did it anyway because he was paying me. But then that person's also guilty, right? Am I right or wrong? You tell me what you think in the comments. Am I right or wrong? That person would be guilty. But these hookers that they got coming in, they're saying like this. They're being like, oh, I didn't, what was I supposed to do? And they're making it out like they were gentle with her, or hey, I had a good time and she had a good time, and maybe I saw Diddy be violent with her, but I was okay. No, man, you still part of it. That's the thing why I don't think a hooker can be credible, because again, they're not going to be like, well, I knew she didn't want to do it, but I still did it. You're guilty. It's like this. And it's weird because, I don't think the court counts in people's psychology or like people's feelings, because they don't care. This is a great example of what I'm saying about this. So if you're with your friend, you're driving, you know what I mean? And your friend says, yo, man, pull over, let me go into the store real quick. And you're in your car outside the store. You look up, you see your friend is robbing the store, okay? You're like, what the hell is he doing? He robbing the store. Now, here's the thing. In this moment right now, the choice of your life is happening. And it's happening in real time. What you're supposed to do in that moment right now is drive away and immediately call the police. Yo, my friend has lost his mind. I pulled up, he said, get out, and he's robbing this store right now, and I had nothing to do with this, okay? Okay, you know what I mean? Somebody said right now that domestic abuse is a completely separate thing. You know what? He's not even being tried for domestic abuse. That's not a federal crime. That was supposed to be done by the state. That's what's crazy about it, Anyways, let's get back to this. So now, that's what you're supposed to do. You call the cops and you drive away from your friend. Because if you let your friend get back in the car and he's like, go, 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 and you drive, you're now an accessory to the crime. When he gets arrested later, the cops and the government don't care. You're like, listen, I didn't even really want to, he just, they expect at that point you're supposed to do the right thing. Now, you might get less time, less charges, you know what I mean? But you're an accessory. The level of accessory they'll figure out. Because let's say your friend goes in there, he's robbing a place, and he shoots the person behind the counter. Now you're an accessory to murder, not just robbery. So what I'm saying is all these hookers are accessories. I don't care what. Oh, especially if you went back more than one time, it's one thing. So like, again, let's say you a hooker. Diddy pays you. You get there. You feeling like, well, your wife's drugged up, dude. Does she really want to do this? Right? But she called. That's the thing too. She the one that called to set it up. You get there, hooker, and even still, you the hooker, you get there, and you're like, okay, I'm here for the fun, and she's drugged up. And you're like, well, are you really want to do this? Like, this is like if you at a bar and you meet up with a chick who's drunk and you take her home and have sex, and then later she's like, I was drunk. Now you've committed a crime? So that's what I'm saying. So I don't get how they're credible. So the hooker gets there. At that moment, he's supposed to make that choice. Like, oh, I don't think she's of right state of mind. But no, you a criminal. You a fucking hooker. So you out there you're like, I don't care where my money at. So it's crazy that they're using hookers. It's crazy that they're using hookers to for the prosecution or the defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, even I'm still waiting for the escort to walk in and say, yeah, you know what? Man, Cassie called me. And I was like, yo, girl, what's up? Then I got there and she was all over me and we had a really great time. Diddy was in the corner. He was spanking it. I mean, you know what I mean? That's it seems to me that the hooker helps the defense more than it helps the prosecution. Like I said about the Tom Cruise, what do you believe versus what you can prove? I don't think the prosecution has proven any of these charges yet. And then they bring Kid Cudi in, which, like, this motherfucker, what is he doing? This feels like y'all should have handled this on a reality show or something. So then he gonna say, like, I heard today that the defense is asking for a mistrial because they're talking about fingerprints on the Molotov or whatever. His car was blown up or something, firebombed his car. They're saying the fingerprints were lost on purpose. You can't say that in court without evidence. So they're coming in and he's saying, this is why the videotape of him beating Cassie down is so important for the prosecution. Because no matter what they say about him, that jury has it in their mind, well, he is a violent dude. Look what he did to his wife. So Kid Cudi comes in court and he's like, well, he came to my house, he did this and that. There's no proof of it. He's just saying this stuff, right? You know what I mean? And then they could go, well, is it possible that he could have done that stuff? Yeah, because he beat his wife down on a videotape. I mean, the videotape's everything. And then they bring the old assistant in, and the assistant is saying, well, he said he wanted to murder, Now listen, I'm not defending this dude at all, but I am saying this. You have your assistant who is like, knows you. I can see him being really upset. He's obviously a super jealous, violent dude. He find out his wife is messing with Kid Cudi. He tells the assistant, man, I'm gonna go kill this dude. Like, does he really mean that? Or is he, he's saying that in the moment, like how anyone would say that? I think anybody finds out their wife is cheating, I'm gonna kill this dude, but are they really gonna do it? So I don't know. Can you speak on the guy's intent? But again, they have this video, right? And they can say, well, it is possible for him to do crazy things because look what he did. I mean, the video's everything. Like, without the video, how do they prove anything? But the thing, too, that gets me is like, how can you have a racketeering case and no one else is on trial? That's the thing. So apparently, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's supposed to be both of them, Cassie and him. They gave her immunity. But who's left? How come no one else is on trial? So I don't know if the Kid Cudi testimony is proving any of any of what they're saying. Like let me look this up real quick. What is Diddy being charged with? Okay. And okay, so these are the charges, which is crazy. None of the stuff that you would think that, firebombing someone's car, he should be charged with that. Well, I guess that is one of the charges, actually. Racketeering, the charges that the Combs was involved in a criminal enterprise using businesses to further criminal activity. So, meaning so he has this corporation. And if you have your assistant or somebody do a crime, hey, go buy go buy me a Molotov stuff so I can go firebomb this guy's car. I guess that's considered, a criminal enterprise, I guess. He's being charged with sex trafficking, coercing or forcing women into sexual activity, which is just his wife. So that's why she has to continuously say, I didn't want to do it. And then transportation to engage in prostitution. But there's other things about arson, he's, in the racketeering conspiracy, the arson and all that stuff. But what is it? How is this personal matter between him and his wife? How's that a federal crime? I mean, it's all crazy. I mean, I still maintain, after reading a lot of the transcripts, hearing lawyers talk about this dude's going to walk out of court, man, as of right now. So we'll see what continues to happen. But, oh, they weren't married? I thought they were married. Well, they were together for 10 years, whatever it was. Oh, they weren't married? Oh, okay. Even still, it's your girl of 10 years. You know what I mean? Off and on. That's still your girl, whatever. If it's legal or not. All I'm saying is, even her own testimony is crazy. When she keeps saying, I didn't want to be there. I had to take drugs. But did you enjoy yourself at all? Well, yeah, when I was with him. It's like, what? What are you saying, lady? I don't know. If I'm the prosecution, I'm looking at her like, what are you doing? We gave you immunity so you can help us. I think she still loves the dude, really. You know what I mean? I think she still loves him. So, it's actually wild. It's wild. Again, the Kid Cudi testimony, how is that, that's like a personal matter that got out of hand. I don't know. I don't know if they have the evidence to prove that he did any of these crimes. They've only proven that he's a freak. And I'll just maintain this again. I have to talk about this again, this thing. All the people who were running their mouth about freak-offs and parties, all bullshit. Just saying stuff just in case. Oh, I know what was going on. Apparently, nothing was going on because the freak-offs were between him, her, and a hooker. That's it. Those were the freak-offs. He wasn't having freak-offs with Beyonce and all these people. There's no videos of that. All these stupid people who were like that one girl was like, oh, I walked women out of the freak-offs. No, you didn't. What would you win? When did you walk people out? And how come you didn't call the cops? Everybody bullshit, man. It's like when it gets to court, that's when the realness comes out. It's crazy. When you have to prove shit in court, that's why people want stuff to be on the internet and just talk about it like that and try to get money that way. Because once you get in court and you have to start proving some evidence, damn, it's going to be hard. But I feel for Cassie after you watch that video. And I'm glad to hear that the hotel paid her. Because I think it's outrageous that the hotel saw this tape and didn't call the cops immediately. Hey, one of our, you know what I mean? Because now because let's say Diddy was this terribly violent, controlling, which it seems like he was. What could she do? She's in a contract with him, right? They're in a relationship. He's her boss. She's got this 10-album deal. Her whole life is wrapped around this guy. She has this evidence now that this dude is violent. Maybe she could get out, and the hotel doesn't help her. Good, she got money. She should have got more. But, it is what it is. I will keep you updated on that. This is my cousin Alyssa in the chat, y'all. Say hi to Alyssa. But she said people made it seem like it was a sex party and it wasn't. That's what I'm saying. All the people that were talking about Diddy parties, all of them were bullshit. People were just trying to cover themselves. Like all these idiots who went to his parties and then felt the need to, I better say something on my Instagram. Hey, them Diddy parties, right? I left before it got crazy. Now you left. What are you talking about? This is all it's all nonsense. Everything's nonsense, man. Nothing's real. That's the crazy part about it. But anyways, I'm going to keep you guys posted on that. Let's talk about the NBA. Man, I'm telling you, I really enjoy the NBA, but I think hopefully people tune in if it's Oklahoma City, Indiana. Two small market teams, that's tough, right? But it's really great what's happening, Oklahoma City is emerging as a really great team. But I'm going to tell you right now, I want Indiana to win the championship. I want that light-skinned brother, Halliburton, to win the championship after being called the most overrated player in the NBA by his peers. Yeah, baby. Light-skinned champ. Light-skinned champ from Indiana. They putting it on the Knicks. I don't know. Halliburton's playing great. He had 30 points, 15 assists, no turnovers, and 10 rebounds to go up 3-1. It was fantastic. The dude's playing fantastic. And then on the other side, Ant-Man, He ain't ready. He's only 23 though. Dude's 23. Been to 2 Western Conference Finals. Been all NBA twice. First team. He's 23. He only been in the league like 5-6 years. He'll have his time. But it ain't. But then the other side, Shea Gillis, he just got a weird name. He's in a small market team. I don't know. He just got to like get on social media, do something. You know what I mean? So we'll see who's going to emerge as a face of the league. I'm going to be tuned into the championship because I think it's going to be great. All right. Lastly, so, excuse me. I don't know if you guys know about this series, The Handmaid's Tale. It's been on Hulu for like 8 years now. The first season, it's about this sort of dystopian, if I'm saying that word right, like America's been taken over by Christian fundamentalists, and they've turned it into this country called Gilead. But in that world, what happened was, they're like, resources have been used up, fertility rates were way down. So they're doing this thing where they capture women, make them, handmaids. It's really dark. And at the time, Trump was elected, the first time. So there was a part of it that you were thinking, could this world happen? Because people were like, pumping up on Trump like he was the devil. So it made that show even more scary. But man, that first season was, I'm telling you, it was dark as hell. It's just misogynistic, and the women, the way they were treating the women in the show. And again, it made it seem like this could possibly be true. It could happen. It was a good first season. The second season was good too. But then where can you go with this? It's been dark ever since. And it's the kind of series that once you start, you want to finish it, And so, but it's so heavy, man. I would recommend you watch it just so you can see if you feel the same. But it was just heavy. And you just kind of like, oh, man. It's like, oh, how terrible can people be? But what's her name? Kate Moss. She became an executive producer. She directed a lot of episodes. You know what I mean? I thought it was well done as a whole, but I felt like they should have ended it after season 3. Just kind of left it up in the air. Because it just, but there were some great moments in this final season. But, I don't know, man. I don't even know if I'm doing this review justice because I don't want to reveal everything, and I'm just kind of feeling under the weather. I'm about to get on Twitch and do some Call of Duty. But, yeah. Weird times. But, yeah, I would recommend Handmaid's Tale. If you have never watched it, if you have Hulu, if you have Disney, you can watch it. You just find the Hulu app in Disney. Check it out. If anything, watch the first season. I guess, again, it's just a dark-ass view of the world. Yeah. I'm just glad it's over. I felt like that. I was like, last night I watched the finale, and I was like, whew, glad this world is dead. Let's move on with it, you know what I mean? So, you got to check it out. I also want to thank all my YouTube subscribers, too. I just realized I see a bunch of YouTube subscribers. Thanks for being here, too, like doing that, because you could be a YouTube subscriber, too. So as I say, as always, sub to the channel, guys. Hit me up on Twitch. Watch me there. Sub. Be a Patreon supporter. And we'll keep going strong. The studio. My guy that's going to go to the studio, he had to go to Austin to help Brendan with his studio. So I'm going to get my stuff done soon. And then I got to bank some episodes because I'm going to be going on trips. I'm going to miss another Tuesday, another Tuesday and Wednesday. So we're trying to get some interviews, get some people talking about stuff, but we'll see. I really want to get a defense attorney or just an attorney in general just to ask some questions about the Diddy trial, on here. Oh, man, Last of Us. How much time I got? Oh, man, the chat just reminded me of that. Oh, my God, that last episode of Last of Us. Oh, my God. Was it the one before? Last of Us is great, man. I mean, when they brought Pedro Pascal back as like a flashback, they start the episode, they show him as a kid and his dad, and they start the episode with his dad saying like, telling his story of his father. And he says, I just want you to be when you have kids, be better than me. Oh, and when Pedro Pascal, when he says it to her, I don't know, I was crying. It was such a great scene. But I don't know. I don't know if that was the finale. I hate when they end up. It was a terrible finale, in my opinion. They just have 20-episode season because why we got to wait now 2 years to find out what happened with Emma or whatever the bitch's name is. I've been drinking tea. I don't know. It's crazy. I got to get off. But anyways, like I say, guys, Twitch, Patreon. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for the listeners. Audio listeners, you guys are always great. Those truck drivers, people that work in cubicles, that you stay in with me, I appreciate it. And you guys have a good one. Now, as for you, what do you call it? YouTubers, thanks for being in the chat. Thanks for supporting the show. And I gotta go do something right now. I gotta do a sinus flush. But love y'all. Thanks for being here. And I'll see you next week.